The time by Carrie Chris is 6 p.m. Time for CBX Business News. The Business News headlines is brought to you by CBX Wealth Management, making more possible.
Industrial expansion, economic recovery, and Brexit bites. Good evening and welcome to CBX Business News for Tuesday, January 13, 2026. I'm Rachelle Moncrief. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, Wisynco opens a US $35 million brewery and manufacturing facility, entering the brewed ready-to-drink market. Also ahead, the Bahamas economy rebounds after absorbing US $19 billion in losses over the past decade. And later, UK trade with Europe comes under pressure as rising Brexit-related costs continue to weigh on exporters and supply chains. Stay with us as we unpack these stories and more right after the break.
Wealth is not simply counted in dollars or cents, but in the time we spend with love, in love, giving love. Wealth is not simply a means to an end. It is the means to live out loud. Wealth is more than money. It's about family, the memories you create, the legacy you leave behind, and your ability to enjoy life in the moment. It's also about seeing the QMAX possibilities and seizing investment opportunities to achieve the future you want and deserve. Which is why QMAX Wealth will focus on your investments so you can experience more. Because true wealth is truly more. To start investing today, call 876-926-7767.
Kingston, Jamaica is a place to be in January 2026 for the 21st staging of the Regional Investment and Capital Market Conference that will be hosted by the Jamaica Stock Exchange at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. We invite you to join us as we bring together government leaders, issuers, investors, and potential investors for 3 days of insightful presentations and discussions. Register now. Seats are limited. Call 876-967-3271 or visit jamstockx.com.
Okay, I just sent the money. I'll WhatsApp you the tracking number.
Thanks, Daddy. I can't wait to buy that PS5.
Listen to me. Your birthday money is not just for spending. Remember what I told your mom? Remember to open the bank account immediately after collecting the money. Your mom has her ID, TRN, proof of address, proof of income, and your school ID.
I'm not an adult yet, so Mommy will have to open the account with me.
Yes. Anyways, I'm headed back to work, so call me later. I love you guys.
This financial literacy tip is brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, promoting financial inclusion. For more information, visit our BOJ Real Talk playlist on our YouTube channel.
Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited has been a part of Jamaica's manufacturing landscape for over 20 years. By crafting unique flavors and fragrances, we have become a part of your favorite household and food items such as beverages, ice cream, household cleaners, and much more. Known throughout the Caribbean for the highest quality, we continue to innovate with strong leadership, a dedicated team with integrity. We go the extra mile for our customers. Create the next taste sensation. Contact us at 876-9235-111 or visit our website, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn pages.
We get the big contract. 50,000 units a month for 3 years. Great. But we need help.
If you are a business owner that requires capital for the expansion of your business, talk to a registered broker today to find out more about listing your company on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, an efficient alternative to other financing options.
Thank God for the Jamaica Stock Exchange Junior Market.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange, providing a fair, efficient, and transparent stock market.
Gardening coming along well.
Thanks, man. You know, it's a long time I've been working at it.
I can see that. I saw your mail by the gate, so I picked it up for you. But tell me something. Why are you still receiving dividend checks by mail?
What do you mean about that?
You need to give JCSD a mandate.
You know, me hear about the mandate them. I'm going over there right now.
A mandate means giving instructions to the Jamaica Central Securities Depository Limited, JCSD, relating to the handling of your dividend or interest payment. There are 3 types of mandates. The first is a bank mandate. The second is a hold mandate. Lastly, we have what we call a third-party mandate, with which the investor may wish to send their dividend or interest to someone other than the parties on their account or institution of their choice.
If it were not for the Jamaica Stock Exchange listing, Phosphate Company Limited would not be where it's at today. I called them, they listened to my concerns and my fears, and they gave me the answers. All the fears I had about banks, about losing control, you are having them. And I tell you, they were dissipated when I spoke to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This is one of the best decisions I have ever made in business. If you want to change the trajectory of your business and to grow, make that call today to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You will be glad you did.
Kingston, Jamaica is a place to be in January 2026 for the 21st staging of the Regional Investment and Capital Market Conference that will be hosted by the Jamaica Stock Exchange at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. We invite you to join us as we bring together government leaders, issuers, investors, and potential investors for 3 days of insightful presentations and discussions. Register now. Seats are limited. Call 876-967-3271 or visit jamstockx.com.
The local news is brought to you by Darriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Welcome back to CBX Business News. We begin with a leadership shift at the heart of Jamaica's private sector. A leadership change has taken place at the highest level of Jamaica's organized private sector. In a statement earlier today, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, has confirmed a new executive committee for 2026, with veteran banker Patrick Hilton assuming the presidency. The confirmation also marks the end of Metri Siaga's tenure as president, formally closing one chapter of leadership and opening another at the center of private sector representation. Supporting Hilton is a slate of senior private sector leaders, reflecting Jamaica's most powerful economic blocs. Sasha Vassiana Riley continues as executive director, ensuring stability in the organization's day-to-day management as the new committee takes office. Vikram Diman has been appointed honorary treasurer, with Camille Facey serving as honorary secretary. Meanwhile, the vice president's list reads like a cross-section of Jamaica's corporate command center. Gail Moss Solomon of Grace Kennedy Group, Hugh Grant of Jamaica Public Service, alongside Matthew Lynn, Maria McIntosh Robinson, and Joanna Banks. The executive committee is further strengthened by the inclusion of 7 major industry associations spanning banking, shipping, MSMEs, manufacturing, tourism, human resource management, and insurance, embedding broad sectoral representation directly into the organization's leadership structure. Wisynco Group Limited has opened a US $35 million brewery and manufacturing facility, marking a decisive expansion of its operations and its formal entry into Jamaica's brewed and ready-to-drink beverage market. Speaking during the opening ceremony earlier today, Wisynco CEO Andrew Mahfood says this facility gives the company the flexibility to produce alcoholic and non-alcoholic ready-to-drink products for both local and export markets.
It significantly expands our capacity, strengthens our ability to meet growing market demand, and gives us the flexibility to diversify our product portfolio in meaningful ways. Additionally, and most importantly, it positions Wisynco within the brewed categories: beer, stouts, and malt, ready-to-drink Worthy Park mixed rum-based beverages, and in the ginger wine category via our associate Select Brands and their ownership of the Stones brand, which is now made here at Lake Spence for export and local consumption.
He says the investment also delivers a strong employment boost, creating 285 jobs.
This new facility represents a major step forward in our manufacturing capability. It brings new employment of 285 team members, 85 in direct production and approximately 200 in indirect, being sales, distribution, and marketing. And this investment was $35 million US for the facility that we're going to walk through today.
That was CEO of Wisynco Group Limited, Andrew Mahfood. A major shift is underway in global credit markets, one that could reshape how large-scale infrastructure projects are financed, including here in Jamaica. International investment bank Morgan Stanley is warning that trillions of dollars will be needed worldwide to fund the next wave of digital and energy infrastructure, and Caribbean economies will not be insulated from the impact. Morgan Stanley's chairman of markets in private equity, Dan Toscano, says global credit markets are entering a new phase as banks regain ground once dominated by private lenders.
I think the relaxation of those guidelines or the elimination of those guidelines really frees the banks to participate in the entire continuum, either as lenders or as underwriters. And so in addition to the opportunity that gives the banks to really find the best solutions for their clients, I think this will also continue the blurring of distinctions between public market credit and private market credit, because now the banks can participate in all of it.
That was Morgan Stanley's chairman of markets in private equity, Dan Toscano. In other news, one-on-one educational services is proving that smart investment in education technology can pay off big time. For the financial year ended August 31, 2025, the Jamaica-listed education technology firm delivered a sharp turnaround, posting net profits of Jamaican $85.9 million, up from less than $1 million Jamaican dollars the year before. Revenue climbed 23% to Jamaican $374 million, driven by wider adoption of its One Academy platform and a steady growth in recurring income from government and institutional clients. Margins also strengthened. Gross profit jumped more than 36%, while operating expenses were cut by nearly 15%, reflecting tighter cost controls and a more efficient operating model. Behind the numbers is a deliberate strategy. The company invested more than 77 million Jamaican dollars in software development, content creation, and artificial intelligence tools, including new AI-powered features rolled out to teachers and students, even as it managed short-term cash pressures common to fast-growing tech firms. With its platforms now embedded in national digital education initiatives and positioned for regional expansion, One-on-One says its focus is clear: scale recurring revenue, protect margins, and build long-term resilience. We go now to updates from the Bank of Jamaica on how the currency markets traded today. In Tuesday's trading session, the US dollar is selling for $158.56, the Canadian for $113.98, the pound for $211.07, while the going rate for the euro is $183.95. We move to the latest updates from the JSE equities. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE market activity resulted in the trading of 115 stocks, of which 43 advanced, 44 declined, and 28 traded firm. Leading the winners are West Indies Petroleum Terminal, MFS Capital Partners, Iron Rock Insurance Company, and First Rock Real Estate Investments USD. While leading the losers are KLE Group, Cargo Handlers, Medical Disposables and Supplies, and Lasco Financial Services. The main index advanced by 8,196.42 points, or 2.46%, to close at 340,796.47 points. The junior market index declined by 54.46 points, or 1.61%, to close at 3,318.99 points.
And it's time for Market Education Feature, brought to you by CariChris, Regional Ratings, Global Standard.
In today's Market Education Feature, we're talking about the Group of Eight, or G8. The G8 was a forum made up of the world's leading developed economies. Its members included the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Japan, Italy, France, and Russia. Leaders from these countries met regularly to discuss major global economic and monetary issues. In 2014, Russia was indefinitely suspended following its annexation of Crimea, and the group has since operated as the G7. At its height, the G8 was seen as a central force in global policy making, representing nearly half of the world's economic output. The group worked together on issues such as financial crises, monetary stability, energy shocks, terrorism, and climate change, a role that continues today under the G7 framework.
The Market Education Feature was brought to you by CariChris, Regional Ratings, Global Standards.
And that's it for the local news segment. Please stay with us. The regional news is up next.
The local news is brought to you by Derriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Mikey, Is what sweet you saw?
Yeah, dear babes. Where's the catty? Me and you go party tonight.
Party? You secure your future yet? Careless.
Did you know that over time the stock market has provided a reliably high return on investments? Be sure to contact a licensed stockbroker for more information on this exciting investment opportunity.
Taking care of business, Mikey?
Yeah, catty. I'm securing my future. Want to come look over my stock portfolio?
The Jamaica Stock Exchange, providing a fair, efficient, and transparent stock market.
Welcome back. And now for the regional business news. Prime Minister Philip Davis says the Bahamian economy has staged a strong rebound after absorbing more than $19 billion in economic losses over the past decade, pointing to improved credit ratings, restored investor confidence, and a renewed surge in private sector investment. Speaking during his national address on Monday, Davis outlined the scale of the economic shocks, including a $2 billion drop in consumer spending following the 2018 VAT increase.
In 2018, the previous government raised VAT from 7.5% to 12%, a shock 60% increase, which was followed by a massive $2 billion drop in local consumer spending. Unfortunately, that meant our families, our economy, and our fiscal situation were weaker when we faced the terrible tragedy of Dorian, the Category 5 hurricane, which followed Joaquin in 2015, Matthew in 2016, and Irma in 2017. $7.7 billion. That's the amount in economic losses we sustained just the last decade because of hurricanes, according to the Inter-American Development Bank. $7.7 billion. Then, of course, there was the pandemic and the extensive damage of the endless lockdown.
Despite those setbacks, the Prime Minister says the economy is now on firmer footing, supported by policy reforms, energy sector restructuring, and expanding opportunities.
We can open new doors to Bahamian ownership, to Bahamian success and prosperity, and to new industries built and led by Bahamians. It means we can accelerate our development and build an economy where prejudice and privilege and gatekeepers matter a lot less, and your creativity and ability to innovate matter a lot more.
That was Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Philip Davis. Anguilla is reporting a 16% increase in visitor arrivals for November 2025 when compared to the previous year. This marks the highest November total in 33 years. Speaking during a press conference on Monday, Minister of Tourism Cardigan Connor says approximately 19,000 visitors were recorded for the period.
From the Government Statistics Department, visitor arrivals, November 2025 recorded 18,848 visitor arrivals. That is 16% over its corresponding year in November 2024, and this period is recorded as the highest November total in 33 years. So our tourists, the stayover visitors, 10,013, that is 7% up on the previous year, and excursionists, the day trippers, was 8,835. That is 27.9% up on the previous year.
That was Anguilla's Tourism Minister Cardigan Connor. Moving now to news from Guyana. In an effort to strengthen financial resilience, more than $300 million has been injected into the agriculture sector through cash grants to fisher folk in Region 4. The fishermen received direct financial assistance to support day-to-day operations and business expansion, with beneficiaries saying the grants will help stabilize incomes and sustain activity. Addressing grant recipients on Monday, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa says this funding positions the industry for greater stability and long-term growth.
So it's Ogle, Yelendal, Meadowbank, Grove. If we look at these landing sites, we have expended large sums of money to rehabilitate these sites. We have made these sites more comfortable. We have put in the basic facilities, sheds. We have to build back the wharf, the old Meadowbank wharf. We have rebuilt that wharf there at Meadowbank. We have put in a number of systems there. So millions of dollars we have expended because we want the fishing industry to be resilient.
That was Guyana's Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa. It's now time for news from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 19 securities, of which 6 advanced, 4 declined, and 9 traded firm. Today's winners are Prestige Holdings, First Citizens Group Financial Holdings, Ansa McCall, and Massey Holdings, while leading the losers are National Enterprises, A.S. Bryden & Sons Holdings, National Flour Mills, and Scotiabank Trinidad and Tobago. Trading activity resulted in the following movements. The All TNT Index advanced by 7.05 points to close at 1,388.01. The Composite Index advanced by 3.67 points to close at 956.86. The Cross-Listed Index remained at 69.32. The SME Index remained at 94.07. And we take a short break, but please do stay with us. The international news segment is up next.
I'm trading stocks to achieve my financial goals.
I'm also trading stocks to achieve my financial goals.
Start a conversation with the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Check jamstockx.com for information and a list of registered stockbrokers. You can also call the Jamaica Stock Exchange at 876-967-3271 for information on how to begin. I am achieving my financial goals.
I'm achieving my financial goals.
Welcome back. In international news, 5 years after Brexit, UK trade with Europe is facing mounting friction, with industry leaders warning that red tape, border delays, and rising costs are eroding competitiveness and disrupting supply chains. New evidence presented to Parliament shows the UK economy is now estimated to be around 8% smaller than it would have been without Brexit. Goods trade with the European Union has fallen 18% over the past 5 years, while food and drink exports are down 24%. According to Broughton Transport Solutions Managing Director Toby Ovens, traders are now required to complete around 1 million customs forms every 9 days, with the added bureaucracy costing businesses an estimated £8.5 billion a year.
There are huge delays at borders which cause significant costs, not just for hauliers, but of course for those traders who are our customers who are there to serve. We move across the UK 82% of goods, so we serve pretty much every sector within the UK. And yes, certainly our members are finding it extremely difficult now to move goods into and out of the European Union. We serve the European economy too.
That was Managing Director of Broughton Transport Solutions, Toby Ovens. We turn now to the health sector, where hospices across the United Kingdom are facing growing challenges. Hospices across the United Kingdom are reporting increased financial pressures, with some warning they may be forced to cut services without additional funding. Speaking during Monday's Public Accounts Committee meeting, UK's Chief of Hospice, Toby Porter, revealed that 2023 to 2024 was the worst financial year on record for hospices, with the following 2 years proving even more challenging.
And actually the hospice sector is facing a new cliff edge in April when the period covered by the DHSC's very welcome and useful capital grants programme comes to an end. So it's really and there is a over reliance on charitable giving, and 2 out of 5 hospices are making cuts.
That was the UK's Chief of Hospice, Toby Porter. Despite the challenges, Department of Health and Social Care Director Dr. Edward Scully says the government is developing a 10-year plan aimed at strengthening the sector's long-term resilience.
We haven't tested them with the system yet, so we can't, but we would envisage the contracting and the commissioning as being part of the modern service framework. And that gets published in September. Right. Well, sorry, we've said autumn, but we're aiming for September, but autumn. Then hopefully able to kick in for the following financial year. But that's what we're kind of aiming for. But we have internally, we've got some, I mean, through the national cost collection, you collect all the kind of the data on the previous year's activity, and we've got some kind of unique prices for some things. So, for example, specialist palliative care visits out in the community, unit prices give or take £150.
That was Director for the Department of Health and Social Care, Dr. Edward Scully. Finally, we go to rising tensions in global monetary policy. Global central bank chiefs are preparing a joint statement backing Jerome Powell, signaling growing concern over political pressure and reaffirming the importance of central bank independence. The show of support follows subpoenas issued by the U.S. Department of Justice over Powell's testimony on a $2.5 billion Federal Reserve headquarters renovation, which Powell has described as an attempt to pressure the central bank into cutting interest rates. Reports say 11 central bank peers have signed onto the statement, even as Donald Trump continues to press for lower interest rates and says he will move quickly to name Powell's successor. Despite the political pressure, markets expect inflation to keep the Federal Reserve from cutting interest rates until at least mid-2026. And that's it for the international segment of the newscast. The news recap is coming up on the other side of the break.
Caribbean Dreams, instant turmeric tea. What you put in is what you get out. What you put in is what you get out, yeah. Build up your body, boost up your brain. Take on the world now, say bye-bye pain. Caribbean Dreams, instant turmeric tea, be good to you. Caribbean Dreams, instant turmeric tea. Distributed by Amalgamated Distributors Limited.
And now to recap our top stories. In the local news, Wasinko opens US $35 million brewery and manufacturing facility. Regionally, the Bahamas economy rebounds after absorbing $19 billion in losses. And internationally, UK trade with Europe hit by rising Brexit costs. Those were the stories making today's CBX Evening News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Rachelle Moncrief. Thanks for watching CBX, your region, your business, your source.
Hi, I'm Catherine Silvero. You're watching CBX, your region, your business, your source.
So much book you need for high school?